Hi everyone, and thank you for purchasing the Dynamic Flexible Grid Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. We have here the section settings, and we also have some cards on the left sidebar. Let's start with the cards. Each of these have multiple content options as well as styling options. Let's start with the content. Let's call this, for this example purposes, let's call it card 1. And subtitle, you can put whatever in here. Let's say subtitle number 1, just an example. And we can also add a button to anywhere on our site and also select here to be open a new tab. If you don't want any of these elements, you can just remove it. Next, we have the card styling. That's it. In here, we have multiple options. We have background type, where we can use a background color or background gradient or a background image. Let's try background image and select one from here. And perfect. Okay, so next we have here the card height. So this enables us to expand the card on the grid to any of these sizes. Let's say right now it's half. We can put it at 1/3, 1/4, 2/3, or 3/4. Let's say we want it full height, and then we have it like this. For now, let's try 2/3. This option allows us to stack this card to the same column. At this moment, because it's the first card, we don't need to use this. But for example, if we are in the third card, and we don't want it to be in here, we want it to be down here, we can select this, and then that will keep the card on the same column that it was the previous card. Okay, so next we have here some text styling, where we can select the alignment of the elements horizontally, and also we can add it vertically. So top, center, bottom. Okay, the same with mobile. We can select the position. We can also edit the title. We have multiple options, margins, font sizes, line height, letter spacing. The same with the block styling, the text block, which right now it says subtitle. We have multiple options. Let's say we want it to be also white. Cool. And then we also have the button styling. In this case, we don't have a button, but let's put it back. Learn more. And then we're scrolling back. And we have here multiple options. We have to style it as a button, as text, or underline. An underline is just an underline link. And text is only just like this. Let's keep it as button for now. And then we have here some margins for the button, top and bottom, so we can play around with it. And also we have the colors, background color, border color, and also on hover. Let's say on hover we want to be blue, and also the border color we want to be blue as well. Cool. Let's say the text color. Oh, perfect. So let's keep it like this, okay, and move over to the next card. Next card, we can play around the same. Let's say here we have card number 2, subtitle number 2. Okay, let's say we don't have a button in here, and on this one we don't have anything, so let's keep it like this, so you can enable it or disable it. So let's say we only want the content in here, so that's fine. Now, because this card is 2/3, we can try maybe to be 1/3. Cool. So that way we can keep kind of a grid in here. That way we can keep the section as a grid. Let's say we have a different color. Okay, the same. We can play around with this. But for now, let's gonna keep it here. And then let's go to the next card and call it card number 3. On card number 3, you're gonna keep a button, but now subtitle. So we can do this. This card, we also enable this because we have different content. Let's say our spring collection arrive, or yeah, it's here. And we don't want a text block, we can leave it blank, and we can put here buy now and link it to anywhere on our store. So when the user clicks, we have this, and with a call to action in here. Let's close it. And let's say on that one, we're gonna keep it half. No, maybe we can use 3/4 like this, and then on the next one, maybe we can use, let's say, card number 4. Oops. On this one, maybe we can put it to be 1/4. Okay, perfect. So now it's perfect. So now it's on the grid. Okay. Let's style this. Put a different background, or maybe yeah, something like that. Okay, cool. Let's say the next one is full width, full height, sorry. Let's call this card number 5. We don't have a button, and we don't have a text block, any of these. On card 5, we want to be full height. Cool. Now let's say on card 5, let's say we want a different background. Oops. So we select one from here, any image. Okay. Okay, cool. So basically, you can play around with the heights of each card in order to create a grid with the options that are here on the card height. Okay, let's style these other cards with the same idea. Let's say it's 1/3, like this. Let's add a different background color, something like this. And on the next card, this is 1/3. Let's say 2/3. Cool. Let's select a different background color, and that's it. As you notice, these two cards that have model have this hover effect. That hover effect, you can turn it on or off in here. So on this one, doesn't have it, but it's clickable. On this one, has it. But this zoom on hover, it's only when there's a model content to show. Okay, so let's gonna keep it for now. So we have this effect. Now, let's go to the section settings. And here we have section title. We can change the color, position, alignment, multiple options. Let's say we wanted this a little more space and bigger. Let's say like this. Okay, cool. In here we have the card styling. Now, this card styling is for all cards. We can select the columns amount, 2, 3, or 4. Let's say if we change it to 3, then it looks like this. Now, because this right now has more cards than 3 columns, it looks like this. But if you want 3 columns and something like this shows up, you can just hide the cards that you don't need, and we have the 3 columns. Now, let's say we want to use the other cards because we have it here. But in order to keep the 3 columns, we can go to the card. Let's say this one, we need it to be smaller. So on this one, let's say it's half. So now they fit. So in here we have 1/2, 1/3. Let's say this one is 1/4. Cool. And then in this case, we can put in here the other card. Right now it's 1/3, so that's why it's overflowing a little bit. But if we put it 1/4, then it stays on the grid. Okay, let's go back to the section settings. And we have here the gap between rows. We can play around with it, have more space, and also gap between columns. Okay, let's give some color to this card. Let's say some yellowish. Okay, cool. In here we have one option called Cards Area Minimum Height, and this enables us to adjust the height of all the cards. And this is optional. Right now it's gonna expand accordingly to the content, but let's say we want this to be taller. Let's say, I don't know, 700 pixels. We put here 700, and then the cards will expand accordingly. Maybe bigger, 900 pixels, then the whole thing will be bigger. Okay, for now, let's say we want to be 780. Cool. In here we have other options, which are card border radius, paddings, top and bottom. Let's say we want this to be square, we can do this, or we can increment the border radius. Let's keep it on 10 for now. And in here we have the horizontal padding. Right now we don't see it that much because the content is small, but if you have a paragraph, then this padding will add more space inside the card. We also have the same styling options, the columns amount for mobile in here. So let's say on mobile, we have it like this. You can adjust how many on mobile. Okay. Let's go back to desktop. And in here you have some settings for the button. So you can use a custom font for the button and set here the border radius and some padding, the font size, and other settings. Down here we have the section settings. These are in general, not just for the cards area. Let's say we want a background color. We can add it here. And we can also do the section width, which is full width or regular. We can put the section like this and increment this to be bigger. Now you won't see it because the window is not so big, but you can put here the maximum width of the content. You can also select this to make the section real full width. So this ignores the maximum width in here. Let's say we want to add it and save. Then if we refresh the page, we'll see that the whole thing expands all the way. But if we turn that off, and let's say we have this smaller, then the section will be still full width, but the content inside will be the amount that we put in here. For now, let's gonna keep it regular, and on regular you would see here that has some spaces, because on regular is for the whole section, not just the content inside.
That's it. Thank you again, and if you have any questions or run into any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via the support page on our website. Take care.